Hi, this is Blockchain Brad. Welcome to another episode of the Sui Move Smart Contracts Development Series. Today, we're going to be looking at coin creation. In our last video, we talked about balances. So today, we're going to be creating our own custom coin. So to get started, head over to VS Code and create a new package, which I've done that already. And I call it coins. So there are two ways to create a coin in Move, and I'm going to show you the both ways. So this is just going to be basics. We'll still go deeper. So first of all, the first approach I'm going to be taking, I'm going to be taking an object, and it's going to be a stock, so public stocks, and I'll call it my coin. Then it's going to have the key ability and ID of type UID. So that's it for this. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to create a function, and I'm going to call the function create coin. So to do that, let me create a public function, and I'm going to be calling it create coin. So this function is going to take in some arguments. So first of all, let me pass international context, which is very important most times. So immutable reference of the interaction context. Then also there's something we're going to import, which is going to be called the coin registry. So we're going to use it to create a coin. It's very important. So it's the new way of creating coins in Sui Move. So to do that, import, we're going to use keywords. Then this coming from the Sui library, they're going to import in the module called coin underscore registry. So this is a coin registry. So we're going to be importing it, and we're going to be importing the stocks from it, which is called coin registry. Then our semicolon. Then after that, this function is also going to be taking a coin registry. So let me pass it coin registry, and I'm going to pass in immutable reference of the coin registry. Coin registry. Okay. So after that, so to create a new coin, we're going to use from the coin registry, coin underscore registry, we're going to be using a function called new coin say. So this is the function. Then the function is going to take different parameters. So first of all, we have to give it a type. So our type we're going to be giving it is going to be a type y coin. So this is going to be the type. Then we're going to be passing in the registry, which is going to be our coin registry. So let me just copy this and paste it here. And just bring this under here. It's how we good formatting. This under and this. Okay. So let me just take this back. Decimals. So after that, we're also going to pass in the decimals. So if you follow my tutorial video, I told you that there are not fractions in Move. So if you wanted to like have something like 0.1 in Sui Move, you have to scale it up to maybe a decimal, and maybe write it as 10. If you write it as 10 right now, the decimal is 1. That means 10 is power 1. So if you want to represent 0.1 as 10, that means the decimals is going to be 1. But if you want to represent 0.1 as, let's say, 100, that means the decimals here is going to be 10. That sorry, it's going to be 2. That means this is like 10 raised to the power of 1. Let's say power of 1. Why this is 10 raised to the power of 2. So while creating our currencies, we have to always give decimals. So let's just see an example right now. So right now the decimal value, Sui has 9 decimals. So Sui has 1, Sui has 9 decimals. So now to represent Sui, 1 Sui, it's actually 1 billion mi. So it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is 1 Sui right now in decimals. This is 1 Sui, which has 1 billion mist. So mist is actually the gas coin for Sui. So right now, if I wanted to write something like 0.1 Sui, it would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this now is 0.1 Sui. Sorry, Sui like this. Sui. So this is it. So every token you're creating is supposed to have uh a decimal value. So right now, let me come here and put my decimals as 9. Then the next thing we're going to be putting is the symbol. So every token is going to have a symbol. So right now the symbol of our sweet token is actually sweet. So let's give our own symbol as well, that to be a string. So I'm going to write B, and I'm going to call this, let's say, CON. I'm going to call my coin CON, and it's going to be our CON dot to underscore string. So the next parameter we're going to be passing is the name of our coin. So the name of our coin is still going to be a string. So I'll make this B. Then I'm going to call this my coin as name. Then dots to string. Then the next thing we're going to be passing in is the description of our coin. So every coin has a description. So for a description, let me move this. I'm still going to make it a string. So it's going to be B. Then I'm just going to put it create my coin. Then I'm going to make it dots to string. Then the next thing we're going to be passing, it's an icon. So every coin has an icon. If you go to see Explorer right now, you will notice that the sweet token has every coin. So let me come back to coins here. You see that every coin has an image. So you have to pass in an image. So right now, I have this image here. I'm going to be using. Let me just copy the URL and go back to my VS Code. It's still going to be a string. So I'm going to pass in B. Then I'll put in the URL and I'll make it dots to underscore string. Just a string. Then the last thing we're going to be passing is our transaction context. We'll take this back here. So the next thing we're going to be passing is our transaction context. Let me put this to the next line and it puts my semicolon. So right now, this is using the new currency function. But one thing again is that our function, okay, so right now you're seeing red arrows here. You're seeing that on variable coin registry. The reason why is that's coming up is because you need to update your Sui CLI if you have not done that. So this coin registry was just brought into place not so long ago. So I advise you go and update your Sui CLI. So I'm going to comment down here and have this extension I created called Sui, and I'm going to tell you if your Sui CLI is up to date or is outdated. So right now I'm just going to like update my Sui CLI and come back. Okay, so I have updated my Sui CLI, and if you look at this coin registry also, it returns something. So The error we have is because it returns two things. So, first of all, this new currency returns. Let's catch it. So I'll say let's equal to, then I'll give it is in the bracket because it returns two things. So first of all, it returns a builder. So let me call it builder. And secondly, let me call it treasury cap. So the builder now is the currency initializer. So let me just call it treasury cap. And this first the builder is the coin initializer. So let me just call it coin unit. And then after that, after creating the coin, we now have to mint it. So right now, we've created the coin. So the second thing we have to do is to mint it to make a total supply. So to mint it, we have to do treasury cap. Let me just copy this treasury cap dot mint. So first of all, we have to put how many of the tokens you want to mint. Do you want to mint? So for now, let's say I want to mint like, let's say 10,000 of the token. So I have to put 10, 1, 2, 3. This is 10,000. But don't forget, we have to put in the decimal values also. So right now we can state 9 decimals. So I'll not put in 9 extra 0. So let me just put an underscore here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So right now we are minting 10,000 of the coin. Then lastly, it takes in financial context. Then this mint function returns the coin we minted. So let's say total supply is equal to this. So right now this is the total supply of the coin. So right now we have to make our treasury cap mutable. So to make it mutable, you have to come here and put the mutable here. And one thing also, we can to finalize the coin creation, we have to come back here and put in coin underscore init. We can call it init coin underscore init dots. Let me call it init. Let me just put it init and come here, put in T. So it's going to be coin init dot finalize. So finalizing that now, it returns something, and what it returns? It returns the metadata cap. So all these things here is the metadata, the decimal, the symbol, the name. So this is metadata. So it returns the metadata capability so that you can be able to change the metadata later on. So I'll put in let's metadata underscore cap will be equal to coin init of finalize. And also to call this coin init of finalize, we have to make this also a mutable reference. Let's put it in here, mute. So after that, we have three things. So first of all, what we have is the metadata cap. So let's transfer metadata cap to the person that calls the function. So the creator of the coin. So let's give the metadata cap to the owner. So this metadata cap now allows gives the capability for the user to change metadata down. So they can be able to change the, let's say, the symbol and the name later on. So to do that, you need the capability. So the capability now will be sent to the caller of the function. So to do that, let's say transfer the public transfer. So what are we transferring? First of all, we're transferring the metadata cap. Metadata cap. How are we transferring into? We're transferring it to the caller of the function, which is text.sender. Then secondly also, there's another thing we have to transfer, which is the supply. This is our supply that is the coin we created. So this coin we created now, we minted this coin. So we minted like 10,000 of these tokens. So we have to transfer it to the user. So to do that, let me just copy this line here. But this time, what are we transferring? We're transferring the total supply. Then lastly, let me copy this line again. The last thing we have to transfer again, which is the treasury cap. So this treasury caps allows us to mint more tokens in the future. So for us to be able to mint more tokens in the future, we need treasury cap. So to do that, we have to transfer the treasury cap also to let me remove this. So you have to transfer the treasury cap also. Copy. So we'll transfer the treasury cap to the color of the function for it to be able to mint more of these tokens. But there are some tokens that you when you're minting them, they have to be fixed. Like Sui now, I think Sui, the total supply of Sui is it 10 billion or is it a billion? I can't remember, but it is fixed. So tokens like Sui that are fixed after the coin creation, we can't miss them again. The credibility is being burnt. So I'll show you how to do that later on. So right now, this is the function just to create a token. So after this, we're going to be adding two more functions, which is the mint function and the bond function. So let's do that. So public bond mint. Now this mint functions, we're going to use to mint more tokens. So right now we're only minting like 10,000, which is not a must to mint. So we can choose not to mint the token. When creation, like when creating a token, we can choose to mint it afterwards. But I just minted the token in creation, which we can choose to skip. So let's say we want to add a function to receive to mint more of the tokens. So to the mint function will take first of all, it has to take a treasury cap. So to do that, I have to come here and import the treasury cap data type. So use Sui. So it's coming from the coin module. Then I have to import the treasury cap. So our function first needs to take the treasury cap. And we're going to take in the immutable reference of the treasury cap. Then secondly, it's going to take in the transaction context. We forgot to pass in one more thing, which is the amount of token we want to mint. So I'll pass in the amount, and I'm going to be of type U64. Okay, the treasury cap also needs to be taking type. So this will be of type what my coin. So this treasury cap needs to be like of type my coin. So you have to be careful with that. So to mint the new token, just like we did before, to do that, let me just copy this function here and then paste it here. So right now, let me just replace this with amount, and this returns the new supply. So let me call it let's new supply is equal to treasury cap dot mint. Then we can still transfer that. So let me just copy this here and paste it here. So the reason I'm writing this function, I'll show this function is because there are times, like I said before, you might not want to mint it in here. So let me just remove this. Or I don't want to mint it in here, and you might want to mint it here. So that's why I'm creating a function here. So the next function we're going to be writing is the bond function. So to do that, call it public fund bond. So the bond function used to bond the token, so like reduce the supply. So the mint function used to add to the supply of the tokens. Like let's say now we minted at first 10,000. So to mint more, you're adding more to the supply. Like if you mint more 10,000, means total supply 20,000. Now the bond token used to reduce the supply. So right now, if the minted token at 20,000, I also make it 10,000. You have to bond on part of the tokens. So to do that, so first of all, bond the token now takes in first of all, let me put in the token we want to burn. So let me put in coin, or let me call it burn coin, and it's going to be coin of type. So let me come here and import coin. So coin, and coin of type, let's be of type my coin. So I'll come here and put in my coin. Then it also takes there's something it takes called currency. So when he created this coin, there was something called currency that was created, and when he did coin, you need to finalize. In this particular type of coin created, it's created an object, or an object called currency, and it's made it public. So it's a public shared um object. So it was created in it. So let me try to click and open on it. So if you look at this currency, and if I come up here, look at it here, this currency object. So to when we want to burn the tokens, we need that object. So let me come here and close it, and let me import it. So this comes from the coin registry also. So I'll call it currency. So we have to also pass in the currency. So currency, and we're going to be currency of type my coin. And I think we still have to pass in the actual context here. And we check on text. So right now, to burn the coin, what you can just do right now is call currency dot burn. Then we have to pass in the coin we want to burn, this, which is this. So I'll pass in the coin here. So sorry, I was supposed to pass this thing as immutable reference, so that I'm taking note of that. We have to pass as immutable reference here. So this will be burn coin. So I don't think we need the actual context again. So that is it. This is the main function. This is the burn function. So anytime we call this main function, a new token is created. And if you want to call the or a new coin is created, and when you're calling the burn function, you have to pass in the coin you want to, the coin object you want to burn. Like on Sui, everything is an object. So you have to pass in the coin object in which you want to burn. So I think that's all for our smart contracts. Everything is set and ready. Okay, so let me just roll this. I think this will be okay. Okay, yeah, it doesn't need immutable reference again. I think it's appreciated already. Okay, so now let's build. So let me come over to this extension called Sui Runner. If you don't have it installed, you can go to VS Code Marketplace and search for Sui Move Runner to install it. So right now I'm going to build my package. I'm going to run a Sui Move build. So if I raise this up, we would see that our package was built successfully. All these things are just warning that is given to us. And to get rid of this warning, let me just copy this here. Sorry, I have to press Ctrl Shift C. So let me copy this here. And let me paste it. So normally what you're supposed to do is that Move wants you to return these objects, like I use in PTBs, but right now we don't want to return them because we don't need this in a PTB. So they want you to return it, so like I use program in a PTB, in a programmable creation block. Right now we don't want to do that, so that's why I'm ignoring those warnings. So let me clear again, and let me click on the build again, build package. So we built successfully. Now let's try to deploy our package. So to deploy the package, so let me click on the publish here. So I'm going to be publishing it to DevNet. If you look at this here, my environment is still on DevNet. So I'm going to publish it to the DevNet, and we've published successfully. So let me raise this up and let me look for created object. Okay, publish objects. So looking at publish objects here, this is our package ID. Let me copy it and let's head over to the Swiss Explorer, which I have opened here. I'm on DevNet. I'm going to paste in the ID. Sorry, I did not copy it. Auto sheet C and okay, let me just right click copy and paste. So look at our published objects here. So we publish our package, and the next I'm going to do, I'm going to call the first function, which is the create coin function. So to do that, I'll come here and I'll come to Sui Move runner and I'll come to call functions. This is a create coin function, and this function takes, let me close this. This function takes the coin registry. So the coin registry has a fixed object, just like the way we have the clock objects. I address as 0x6. So for the coin registry, the object address is 0xc. So that's the object address. Now let me call the function. So right now we've called the function and successfully created the coin. So if I open the returns results, if we come over here to created objects, we'll see some objects that we created and transfer to user. The first of all is the metadata cap. Then secondly, we have the currency, which I told you about, and also we have the coin registry. So now for us to be able to mint the coins, so if you look at here right now, let me bring this down. We'll notice that we did not later mint the coin in our create coin function again. So we have to write another function to mint the coin, and this coin minting function takes in the treasury cap. So right now I'm going to be copying the treasury cap ID, which I have here, Jordan's ID, Control Shift C, and yeah, treasury cap, and I'm going to be pasting it. Let me close this, and I'm going to be pasting it here. And then secondly, the amount of coins we are minting, let's say 1000 of the coins. So let me just put in the 1000 first. Then secondly, don't forget the decimals, which is 9. So since you have 9 decimals, I have to put in 90 afterwards. So 123, 123, 123. That's 90. So now let's click on execute. And it has been successful. So we created a coin of this amount. So let's go back. Let's copy our address. So let me close this. If you notice, in our main function, we created a new coin and we transferred it to the color of the function, which is our address. So let me copy the wallet address from here. And let me take it to the Explorer and paste it over here. So if you would notice, look at it here. We have this coin, which is my coin, and it is showing this. So to get the actual value, you have to divide it by 10 raised to the power of 9. And right now it is worth $0. So it has one coin object here. This is the coin object. So this is the coin. So right now it has not been verified. So this is the coin created a new coin. And I think let me go back to VS Code. And if I come here to Sui Move runner, also show your coin portfolio. So let me just expand this here. So look at it now. It shows you your coin. So you see the coin name. I call it con. So this is it, and this is it. Like I told you, we created 10,000 of it. So Sui Move runner actually divided it by the decimal. So this is the value 10,000 of it. I can transfer the coin to anybody who wants, just like the Sui coin. So now let's try to mint another one. So let me call the mint function again, and the treasury cap. Um, so I think I have the treasury cap here. Let me copy it. Then close this. This time let me mint just 200 of it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can execute. So we've minted another supply, and if I refresh now, you see this will change to 2000. So let me refresh, and this is it, 2000. And if I open it right now, you will see two coin object ID, just like I said on Sui. Every token or every object, every asset on Sui is an object. So now both of them have object ID. So now let's say I want to burn the second supply I created. I want to burn it. I'll go call the burn function. And you might be asking, what if you want to burn just 300 of it? So to do that, there's something called splitting in Sui Move. So I'll make a lot today to show you how to use the coin to split. You can split coins together. You can join these two coins together to make into one object ID. I can split them to different object IDs. So let me come back here and close this. Right now, I want to call the bond function. So bond, then our coin ID. Let me paste that's our coin ID. Let me clarify. I copied that and paste it again. Then this time we have to pass in the currency. So let me open this again and come back here. I think we have the currency. Yeah, this is it, currency. So let me copy the object ID of it and use it and paste it again. And let me call the bond coin function. So let's wait a moment. Okay, we have an error which is cannot burn on non-bond only supply. Okay, so we're having this error because when creating a coin, if you want to burn it, you have to specify that you have to burn it, because that's the reason why I need to burn this coin. So we have to specify, and we can only burn a bond only supply. So we can't burn the coin unless we make it bond only. So that's why we're having this error. And I think next 3 videos we'll try to create a coin in which we can burn. For this particular coin, we can't burn it. Once we've created it, we cannot reduce the supply of the token. We can only keep adding to the supply of the token. So that's it for this 3 video. So let me recap on what we did. So first of all, we created we talked about creating the first way of creating a coin, in which we created a coin object, which is a stock to the key ability. Then we created our first function, which is the create coin function, which took in the coin registry, which we imported from here, from the Sui package coin registry. Then it takes character content. So to create a new coin with a function, a public function, we have to use the new currency function from the coin registry module. I have to pass in our type, which is going to be of my type. Then we pass in the coin registry to the function, the decimals, which I explained to you over here. If you're confused, go back and watch it. Then we put in the symbol of the coin. Every coin has a symbol. Then we put in the coin name, the description, the image URL, character context. Then after that, I talked about you minting the coin in the same function in which you created it, which is optional, and which I did not do. I commented the code. Then thirdly, we talked about the metadata cap. So to finish creating the coin, you have to call this coin init, which was returned from the create coin function. So it returned the coin init and initializer and the treasury cap. So to do that, we have to call .finalize and get the metadata cap of the coin. So we will be able to change the symbol, and which the all coins may have used. I'll show you how to change the metadata of the coin. Then after that, we transfer the metadata cap to the color of the function, and we transfer the treasury cap also to the color of the function. And if we had created the supply in this function, we would have also transferred it to the color of the function, or return it from our function either ways. So after that, we use the main function, which is to add the supply. So after creating this token here, supply was 0. So to mint it, we need to pass in treasury cap and the amount we want to mint. Then we created a new supply and transfer this to the color of the function. Then also we use the bond function, which we are supposed to use, but we we're unable to use it because this coin we created, we can't burn it. We can only add to the supply, and we also publish to package, and also we're able to mint about 1,200 of the tokens. So that is for this tutorial video. Um, so in the next video, we're going to be talking about the second way to create a coin. This is just the first way. So our advice, you go over the video and rewatch it. And also, I'll give you a challenge. Not just watch it, try to create your own coin, then transfer it to your wallet, create a new address and transfer it. So that will be all for this video. If you have any question, feel free to reach out or drop it in the comment section. I'll try to answer your questions. So thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial video.